Show by Rock is none other than a Japanese mobile rhythm video game franchise with 2 different entries, as well as an anime that ran for longer than you'd expect. But we'll get back to that soon enough. Hey YouTube, it's Leaks, and as you can see, I have a bit of a new background going on here. Let me know what you think. I always try to improve my videos with each upload. Show by Rock, also known as Show by Rock Gonna Be a Music Millionaire, was released on the 30th of July 2013 for iOS and on the 27th of June 2014 for Android devices. It was Sanrio's first ever franchise themed so closely around music. Not only that, it was also the company's first project to be aimed at an older demographic. While the franchise caught the attention of many different fans, thanks to the cute and creative designs, and the music of course, can't forget that. According to Sanrio, they initially aimed to target men and young boys with Show by Rock. Let us begin this journey in Midi City, the center of Sound Planet, where music is everything. It's inhabited by creatures called Mumons that usually play music in a band, or at the very least, enjoy what the musicians create. Mumons, right? Originally, they only transform to their human forms when experiencing strong emotions. In daily life, they will show up as their chibi animal forms. But in the anime adaptation, this is reversed. The Mumons are humanoid and only transform into their animal forms when they are performing or fighting. Yes, fighting. The Mumons' enemies are called dark monsters and are often depicted as these mecha characters that resemble either speakers or amplifiers. They can either be entirely their own thing, but more often than not, they are Mumons transformed by their negative emotions. So basically, when their Melodesian stone is corrupted. Each Mumon has a Melodesian stone. While it sometimes shows physically as a crystal, it's more of an inner thing for the characters that represent their emotional state and first and foremost, their love for music. The first Show by Rock game played as a rhythm game with 3 buttons and with a few elements from racing sim games. Players could choose from about 27 or 26 bands total, many of which are collaborations with real-life Japanese music artists, such as Mari Ueda. I hope I'm not completely butchering the names, by the way, please correct me in the comments if I do. Bands such as Asu Terasu, KFK, Silhouette from the Skylit, A Crow is White, Clambon, and Kiki or Kiki Star. There are a couple more that I didn't mention, but I will show you some of these bands on screen. Each character uses special bromides for each gameplay, and they have their own unique style of music. Bromides are what the character cards are called. The character cards are used to play with a certain band or character. The Mumons here had still images with small animations that appeared during gameplay. There were also daily events to choose from that were divided into several categories. The player could play more than 40 official songs from the start of the game and could only use up to 6 cards per level. As each stage was cleared, the player leveled up, and doing so could unlock more songs and content. Special songs could also be played during the boss battles as well. The first Show by Rock game's development was transferred in January 2018 from the initial developer Geeks to Idea. Soon after, its service discontinued in 2019 on the 26th of December. The holidays are a sad time to discontinue a game, I'm not gonna lie. And what a familiar fate it is. So many mobile games get cancelled nowadays. However, Show by Rock was not even close to nearing its end just yet. Season 1 of the anime, titled again Show by Rock, aired in Japan between April and June 2015 on Tokyo MX, and the second season aired from October to December 2016. 4 seasons worth of anime adaptations based on this game series were made. The first 3 was animated by the studio Bones, and it is the first late-night anime based on a Sanrio character or franchise. The 3rd season of the series, Show by Rock Mashumaires, was animated by Kinema Citrus and aired from January to March 2020. The 4th season, Show by Rock Stars, aired from January to March 2021. A manga adaptation of the first series began serialization in Kadokawa Shoten's Young Ace magazine in July 2020. The anime's art style was novel at the time if we compare it to other series of the genre, as it switched between the regular 2D and a detailed CGI style. Overall, the series helped the game gain a little more relevance. There was both a subtitled and an English dubbed version of this series, however the latter is somewhat harder to find. The story begins with Sayan Hijikawa, a high school girl who's overthinking joining the school's music club. It's very funny because this episode makes you think the human world will be in focus, like it has a separate opening with human Sayan that is never played again after this episode. Unsuccessful, she goes home to pursue her passion of playing the guitar, then plays a rhythm game, which happens to be Show by Rock. Wow, self-referential media. Then guess what? We get to see her get isekai'd into Midi-City in the middle of a monster battle. And she's transformed into her cat form. We are introduced to some of the relevant bands, including the one she'll join later on. There's also this very blatant little nod to Sanrio in this scene.
Hello, Kitty. You don't have to be afraid.
After a dramatic fight scene, Sayan magically gets this strawberry heart, a guitar she's won in-game. It speaks too.
Are you talking?
Let the soulful rock sync up with your Melanesian stone! The energy will blow that sucker away!
Later, Sayan calls him Mr. Berry. When I was watching the My Melody and Kuromi Netflix show, I couldn't stop thinking about Sayan because
Mr. Berry? Mr. Heart. Mr. Berry. Mr. Heart?
the two just call their little companion very similarly. Turns out she's super powerful and saves the band Trichronica right after when she's scouted by their manager or quote-unquote president Maple Arisugawa. She joins the band Plasmagica. Sayan's new bandmates are Chuchu, the rabbit girl who's welcoming to Sayan but eventually gets jealous and the whole character arc begins. I'll get back to that. Ratori, the dog girl who struggles with making friends. That's why she decided to join a band in the first place, but that is never addressed again after the episode this is set up in. And couldn't forget Moa, the alien sheep princess who's on Midi-City to do some research. To me, it seems like all main characters are references or at least vaguely similar to existing Sanrio characters, such as Hello Kitty, Pompon Purin, and Gudetama to name a few. Shingan Crimsons is the other band at the agency Bandit Rocking Records. There's the guitarist Crow, the other guitarist Ion that he always bickers with, the bassist Yaiba. Both of the latter speak in very fancy sounding sentences, and the drummer Rom. He's sort of the leader of the group and he has the most influence over them all. He has a full-time job and apparently has some past relations with Shuzo, the lead singer of Trichronica. Shingan Crimsons is known for their dramatic entrance each time they appear in a scene, and overall they are portrayed in a way goofier light than the girls, and are often seen comically arguing or gathering in the same restaurant all the time.
Darkness in my soul, and the moon brought me out next to I giggle and I smile. It must be Lamenting
The Plasmagica members get closer to each other. They attend a couple of concerts together and play their own, and a couple of dark monsters have to be defeated. One of them being a member of a band that's their competition called Yasta. Later, they go on vacation too. Then Chuchu briefly wants to leave the band to pursue a solo career. But ooh, evil style. She was convinced to do so by the first season's villain, Dagger. Soon after, it is revealed that the Strawberry Heart guitar is talking because Dagger forced a famous musician called Grateful King to possess it. Is Grateful King any kind of animal? I literally can't tell. He's just a silly little human silhouette all the time. Basically, all kinds of band shenanigans ensue until the villain is defeated in the end. Moa's alien spy plot is further elaborated on as well, which can't be said about most characters. I think a video on redesigning and rewriting these characters would be fun. What do you guys think? At the end of season 1, Cyan briefly goes back to her own world where she does join the music club. But from season 2 and onward, she is back in Midi City again, and the isekai plot is never mentioned again. The next few seasons do have villains too, such as Victorious, the Queen of Darkness, who once used to be a regular Mewmon, and a couple of others. When season 3 came around, there was a change that might surprise you. The focus was no longer on Plasmagica, not even Shingan Crimsons, but on the newer band from the second game, Mashumairash. The anime stays very slice of lifey with a lot of filler and random humor inserted, but with a new cast instead. They all seem to correspond to Plasmagica in one way or another. There's Hoenn, the very eager fox girl from the country on guitar and vocals, the other guitarist Himeko, the manager's niece and the most serious one, the bassist Delmin from the Devilmin tribe, and the drummer Ruhyu, who's simply a wolf girl fascinated by magic and the paranormal. The 3D CGI style changes here, and while still cute looking, it definitely looks like the production for it got cheaper. Shingan Crimsons also has a boy band counterpart, or rather rival, in Dokonjo Finger, a group of students who only formed a band because their principal asked them to, so they don't have to get expelled from school. They are shown fighting and bickering a lot, and Yasu, whose family owns a traditional Japanese bento shop, is the one keeping the group together. There were a couple of fun segments that I'd like to point out from this series, such as the main villain here being the player's manager from the second game. We'll get back to that in a moment, when Mashumaires almost went to jail, when Tricronica hosted a concert on a spaceship, which took everyone to outer space without their knowledge, and the fact that Rameka, an important character from the second game, is briefly present in this season. Finally, we are getting some good chinchilla representation that is so absent from today's animal-themed media. Characters from the earlier seasons won't go forgotten either, and the edgier humor, mostly known in the first season, is toned down to an, in my opinion, so much more likable level. But let's talk about Fess Alive now, shall we? The successor to the original game, Show by Rock Fess Alive, was developed by Now Production and published by Square Enix on the 12th of March 2020 on all mobile platforms. A notable difference between the two games was that the singer collabs didn't show up, either due to copyright, the inability to get new lines, the band's disbanding, or them simply losing interest in being part of the franchise. There was a gacha mechanic involved for splash art cards and bromides as well. The main menu looked like this. You can see all the currencies, quests, and the friend menu, and most importantly, the character chosen to appear in the main menu. Personally, I haven't had the chance to play the game, but to my knowledge, Fest Alive only ran in Japanese, and most of these screenshots are fan-made translations. Fest Alive was yet again a rhythm game, but plot twist, with a brand new look. This time there were also 5 buttons instead of 3. The character sprites here were mostly animated in a rigged animation style. There was this super cute town layout where all the characters the player had could walk around. Dog break is over, thank you for your patience. I am probably going to cut this out anyway. You could also make yourself as a human. Are you kidding me? Now I feel sad that I missed out on these games. The bromides stayed similar to the original game, and you could upgrade and mix and match them to form a band of your liking. You could make them do a nice little crossover between the bands, and it was part of the gameplay. The band member information screen looked like this. It included the character's name, instrument and role in the band, birthday, and other random facts. Lies were essentially what they called the gameplay. It had 3 modes in total. Free Life was the single-player rhythm game. Battle was the gameplay where players could fight dark monsters. And Band Battle was where players could play against each other, similarly to how the bands would compete in the show. The part-time job feature was unlocked at rank 10 and allowed the player to dispatch bromides on part-time jobs to earn various rewards. This feature was especially great for players who weren't able to play consistently. I don't think I've seen a lot of gameplay of this, so if any of you had the chance to play Fest Alive, let me know about any details I might have missed. The storylines were usual random shenanigans, much like in this series. After a good 2 years of runtime and a relatively active fanbase, Fest Alive server shut down for good on the 30th of November 2022. The fun thing about Show by Rock is that Sanrio still releases music videos with their characters, but not as often as you'd think. There was one release this year, as of 2026, and a couple of others at the end of 2025. For any dedicated fan though, the songs are up on streaming for full immersion, I suppose. Each band has their own profile on music platforms, just like any other real band that you might be listening to. While it's not the company's most popular franchise, there were still several pieces of merchandise items made of it, such as keychains, CDs, pins, DVDs, clothes, figures, and much more. While there's a lot to love about Show by Rock, oh boy, it is not exempt from flaws. The games did not hold up to other rhythm games. The visuals looked cheap compared to them, and some could even find things to improve on in the gameplay. Personally, I only watched the anime and I really enjoyed the animal theme, the music, the concepts, the character designs and their personalities, the anime intros and the songs. I didn't find many issues with the slice of life nature of the anime story. I think it was humorous and a light watch, so though some of the first season's jokes and certain aspects of the characterization I did find very strange, I'd be incredibly excited to see what a new game would look like if it were to happen. I did see that some fans have been speculating in the comment section of the newest music video, to my surprise. But again, take this with a grain of salt. Total tangent, by the way, but do you get the feeling where you create an OC for a fandom and then you notice that the franchise itself made something very similar? Well, that's how I was with my OC band Nightlight Love and the Zero T Colic, that is an official show by rock band. They both have a unique species character on drums in the color yellow, and one character has a guitar in each of them. Though I think my OCs are distinct enough from this band, I still find it pretty funny how this manages to happen so many times. Boom, the fandom just drops the same character in a different font. Have you ever had this happen to you before? Anyways, let me tell you a little bit about Nightlight Love, since if you'd enjoy show by rock, then maybe you'd enjoy them too. Kiarin is an Arctic fox. She is very elegant and proud, and she usually takes on the lead roles when the band needs it. She plays the guitar and the guitar separately, depending on song. There's Leela, the compassionate Amuri leopard who plays guitar, enjoys self-expression through fashion, and she does vocal like everyone else in the band, how they usually do in show by rock. The other two are Fuwami, the energetic steel drummer who loves to make and wear accessories, and she made the band's little neck charms, or Leela's hairpin that she wears. And there's Toria, the Siamese cat, who's the bassist, who's always up to date with the latest music-related news. She's the most serious one out of the four, and she was the one to introduce some of the girls to the other band's music. Overall, right now, show by rock is not really getting any new people hooked. As Sanrio, while puts some effort into it, it's very minimal. Show by rock's potential would be bigger than the company estimates if it were given the right piece of media with the right quality and storytelling to be portrayed through. It's pretty sad seeing a franchise with so much potential fall so short of the fans' expectations. So guys, this script turned out quite long, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to comment below what you'd like to see from me next and any feedback you might have on today's video. That was all for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
They say life isn't danger bound,
And often they are right when to fret or cry.
what you want in your life,
Loving through their happy access.
cherishing all your interests.
You are loved will be fun.